Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. The devil's work is almost done. Need support. I'm not really sure what I am looking for in posting this. Tomorrow is my mediation day and I'm a little numb and restless. I, 43 meters, have been married to my STBXW, 41F, for 19 years, together 25 years. We met in high school. I found out in October, the day before our 19th anniversary, she had at least an EA, but I also believe she also had a PA, but she would not admit it with the current guy. She said they only kissed. Yeah, right. She told me she loved him, he is married with 2 kids, and then she said I love you but I am not in love with you. But on the same day she admitted to a PA with a different man 12 years ago. The basics to the story is she pretended to try and work it out and eventually asked for a divorce. It's so much more messier than this and I may tell the whole story someday. I just don't have the energy tonight. She moved out in January and my girls, 10-yo and 15-yo, have lived with her at her parents' house and my son, 16-yo, lives with me. I see my girls often and try to talk to them every day. My son has become so much closer to me. I love them all so much and I hate that this has happened to them as well. Maybe I'm looking for encouraging words. Wisdom. I have prayed a lot about this and then again maybe not enough. I know she has at least told her family lies about me, but they also know some of the truth. It's weird to be a part of a family and then all of a sudden you are a stranger. Here is something I wrote to her last night, but I won't send it because I know it would mean nothing to her. The devil's work is almost done. I'm mad/sad that all 3 of our kids are in therapy. I'm mad/sad that you are the other woman. You have destroyed more than our marriage. Our kids are forever changed because of your actions. I worry how this will affect their future relationships. You have destroyed other families and that makes me sick. How and why would you choose to be the other woman? It's disgusting and I know you know it is wrong. You are one of the most selfish people I know. You didn't just make a one-time mistake. You choose to do this over and over and ever. After being confronted you choose evil. That relationship is from the devil. This could hurt your soul. You will never be able to be in a relationship where you are not an adulteress. As far as I know you are still with your affair partner. You both have started a relationship built on a lie. One of you will cheat on the other and if not I'm sure it will be miserable if you have a conscience. I know for a fact that he has already questioned what he has done and tried to go back to his wife. But I say to you that everyone who divorces his wife, except on the grounds of sexual immorality, makes her commit adultery, and whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Matthew 5:32. He said to them, because of your hardness of heart Moses allowed you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. Matthew 19:8-9. You lied for so long it is hard to tell what was ever true. Is this who you were along and I didn't know it, or did you change? I do believe you did me a favor forcing the divorce. You made the statement that maybe you don't deserve me. Maybe that is true, but if you didn't force this I would have kept trying to love you and save our marriage. How do you not feel remorse or shame or guilt? How do you sleep at night knowing what evil you have done? You said at one point you were praying and talking to God, but if there is no change, is there really any sorrow or repentance? I know that is between you and God, but it is one more thing I don't understand. How do you sit in church and not feel guilt or shame? How did you sit with me and our family and not feel shame and guilt? You are not too far gone, you can still be saved. I don't mean we can have a relationship, especially now, but you can repent and return to God. I believe that would mean putting away that selfish person you have become. I have said in the past you are a good mother. I believe I lied to you. A good mother would not have done this to her family. You are a selfish person who just loves herself. Maybe you care about the children, but because of how it makes you look at the world. I know how much you care about your image. As for me, I have tried hating you, but it does no good. I really could have come after you, I mean your career. You always cared about that more, but I decided that time will take care of everything. I don't need to hurt you because you are broken. I'm sure there has to be a lot of pain to do the things you have done. In some ways I pity you. I'm saying my last goodbyes and releasing you. A good mother would not have done this to her family. The prosecution rests. Hi, just_brilliant. Hang in there. Stay strong for you and your children. It's going to be a long, tough ride, but you will get through this, and so will your kids. I wouldn't bother sending what you have written. And, to be brutally honest, at this stage I wouldn't bother trying to appeal to her better nature. She is in the fog. She is oblivious to the pain and heartache she is causing others by her actions, and she feels justified in pursuing happiness in the bed of another man. Unfortunately, cheaters do it this way. Rather than call an end to one relationship before embarking on another, they prefer to sneak around and lie, instead of just calling it a draw in their marriage. At first, I tried to beg, plead and reason with my wife. She couldn't care less. The woman I married was a stranger to me, saying brutally hurtful things, lying to me, lying to others about me, all to make herself feel better and try to justify her actions to herself. Eventually I sought advice and help, and I performed the 180. I made myself less available, cared less about what she said or did. Well, I gave the appearance that I cared less. I basically stopped behaving like she was my wife, and more like she was a lodger in the house. I also didn't hide the fact that she was cheating. It wasn't my dirty secret to keep, and the shame wasn't mine to bear. And to be fair, she had been lying about me to all of her family and friends, so I stopped caring about her image. The 180 worked well, because over time I actually did start caring less, and did start making time for myself and caring for myself, and my wife's affair broke down. I like to think that I helped speed up that process by phoning her AP and telling him that he can have her. By this point I simply didn't care enough to worry about her. Personally, I think I took too long to seek help. I didn't know where to turn, and I was so ashamed and embarrassed and hurt. As a result of seeing the woman I loved treat me and my children so badly, I now have no time for love and romance. I have been left a very bitter old man and could never imagine giving my heart and soul to another person, as I have been to the bottom of a very dark place and the scars will never heal, and even now the pain is raw. In my long-winded ramble I am trying to say, look after yourself, make time for your children and remind them how special and precious they are. Spend time with friends and try to learn to laugh again and be thankful. Please don't be too ashamed to seek help, and please don't lose touch with the good things in life. There are so many amazing and wonderful experiences out there. Kind regards. Thank you, Bansawmill. Cool name. I'm sorry you went through this too. I did the same thing this time. I did the pick me dance. I tried to reason with her. I called the AP and told him to back off and has her delete him from everything. I set up MC and IC. Looking back, was I dumb, or at least I feel that way. I know I can sleep with a clear conscience at night. Thank you for your kind words. Maybe with time and healing you can find love again. I do have one friend who went through this and he was done with women. We started hanging out and the right woman under his conditions came along. It took 5 years to get there, but he is happy. I wish you the best. I've found that if I ever truly know why, I'll be too far gone down the rabbit hole to return. What helped me is to accept the following. They got tired of pretending. It had nothing to do with me. Really, the reason or excuse doesn't matter anymore. Good thoughts. You have children that are easily influenced. Never ever let her set the narrative with what has happened. All of them are old enough to know exactly what has gone down and why. This could have terrible ramifications for you in the future. Tell everyone everything. I worry that is what has happened with my girls. I don't think it's just her at this point either. Her sister has been nuts and her dad has tried to buy off my son. Who knows what my girls have been told? It's like they have been instructed to not say anything. I hope that's not the case, but I feel like I know better. Did you inform OM's wife about the affair? Yes, I reached out to her. We have talked twice and she is a very nice lady. I apologized for what my WS did to her family and she did too. She also started her divorce. He tried going back at one point but she shut it down. I feel like she is handling this better. Good for you. You did the right thing. Reading between the lines, is your ex and her AP working together? If so, you need to report them to their HR department. It's the right thing to do. I speak from experience. I sleep well at night. You will too. If you're not a cheater, it's hard to figure out the mental gymnastics it takes to justify it. Most marriages are dead in the water before the cheating. Too bad more don't use that option. What is crazy to me, and you are right, I didn't see it coming. Everything was the same right up to the moment of me confronting her. She made a comment months earlier but I never thought she was cheating. Yeah, don't send that letter to your cheating wife. Quotes from the Bible mean nothing to adulterers. Protect yourself in the divorce proceedings. Follow your lawyer's advice. DNA test your children. They are your kids in the eyes of the law, but proof of paternity fraud may help you in the divorce. Has custody been finalized? Is she poisoning your relationship with your daughters? Good luck. All the children are mine. I believe her and her whole family are poisoning my girls. No offense, but unless you did DNA tests on all the kids, then you have zero reason to be certain they are yours. She even admitted to a PA within the time frame that you had your girls. Wake up quick. I didn't, they are all mine. Great. I am genuinely happy for you. I wish you profound healing to your hurt soul. I don't know if I can put it clearly enough, but you seem to be doing the meditation and prayer, but you have to get out and be the best version of yourself that you can be. Now be a good father. Invest your time in your body. Get out to a gym, or a dojo of some sort. Become stronger in your body to match or surpass your will. Get out and run, bike, swim, etc. The endorphins that are released in exercise will do you some genuine good. You will also help your children by involving them in your sporting efforts. You bond further and help their development. Don't let the dreaded screen rule your lives. Avoid any alcohol or drugs. They are especially not your friend as you work through what has to have depressed you. Focus on your family. Your ex is not family anymore. Don't let her rule your thoughts. Keep busy with projects, hobbies, etc. Idle hands. Good luck, put out the solid effort, and you will all become better for it. Cheers. Great advice. I have started running and lost 35 pounds. I ran a 5k last month and I'm training for a 10k. I tried wrestling but I hurt so bad after the first day I haven't gone back, but maybe I'll give it another go. I also started a business to go along with my job. It is only months old but there is promise. Again, thank you. I have read a lot here, and a lot of people have posted letters they either actually sent or wanted to or just to vent, and I almost always think the letters are horrible. But I really like your letter. I do think you encapsulated many aspects in the cheating/affairs, specific enough to your situation and general enough for others. I do think a lot of points you wrote could be very painful for her to read, especially if she believes in her faith. Which probably means she would slough it off and think that it had nothing to do with her, and that you missed the whole point of how bad you have been and how you caused it all. Cheaters see things differently. Thank you for your insight. I imagine she has to tell her something to sleep at night. I believe at some point cheaters believe the lies they tell. Crazy day but the divorce is final. Rant. Last week my ex-wife, her dad showed up too, and I worked out a settlement agreement in mediation. It took all day but we got it done. Basically, since we all agreed it's over, only one party has to prove it up to the judge. I was nice that day and let the girls stay with her because she had family that came in town. We switched days, trying to extend the olive branch. I believe she has messaged me every day since then for some reason. I ignored most of it because it wasn't about the kids. Thursday night my mom took a fall and broke her hip and leg. My poor mom is a saint too. She has dedicated her life to her family and especially my older sister who is mentally handicapped. Friday was prove-up day and I have more than the divorce on my mind. It goes quickly with me and my lawyer as the only ones to attend. Remember, we have already agreed on everything, so this is basic info for the courts to accept what everyone has signed and agreed. I got my girls because this is my day. I get back for last week's exchange date. My ex-wife is messaging me about something and I replied in a snarky way, "Congratulations on getting the divorce you wanted." She cheated on me. She messaged back and said she hasn't seen any paperwork, so hold off. I told her I went before the judge today, so as of June 11th, 2021 we are divorced. Her messaging stops. I don't know why, because I thought she would be happy because this is what she wanted. I go to cook dinner with my middle child and I get a call from my ex-father-in-law asking me to come out and talk to him. We haven't spoken in weeks. I see him at my kids' games and when I pick up and drop off the kids, but we don't speak. He just stares at me. I just assume he has been lied to and is going to believe whatever his daughter tells him. I got my old phone and turned the recorder on because this isn't normal. I walked out and he is sitting in my driveway in his truck. I walked around to the driver's side and he doesn't get out, he just has his window rolled down. He said, "How do you go before the judge without her?" I said, "David, this isn't about you. He was there last week under my protest too. I didn't marry you and I'm not divorcing you, so I'm not having this conversation with you. I should have gone inside at this point. If she wants to talk, I'll do it with her, but stay out of this." He said, "You will tell me." I pointed my finger at him to make my point that much cleaner and he swatted at me and he said, "Don't you point at me. It's my house and I'll point wherever I want." I know this is a dumb argument. I told him his daughter is an adulterous woman who has been sleeping with a married man. He called me a liar. I said she has slept with more than one married man and destroyed families. He acted surprised at first and then asked how would I know. I said I've seen the bills and records. Plus I talked to the cheater's ex-wife. He goes to the point that he doesn't care about the cheating. Says I spent all the money. She got thousands of dollars just today, and he would have cheated too if he had to live with me. He said he knows everything. I said I guess not if you don't know about her having affairs with married men. His other two daughters have done the same. I asked how it felt raising three adulterers. That his enabling is part of the problem. What would his own dad think? His dad was a very righteous man. He raised Beep. Okay, I was really mad, but maybe I crossed a line. He reaches out and punched me in the arm. I defend myself and hit back. I tell him to stop. I don't want to fight this old man. He starts yelling about the judge again. I explained the process and he is still mad, saying their attorney didn't tell them anything. Not my fault. He starts saying I'm crazy and my son, his grandson, will be just like me. I said he will be a good man and I hope he doesn't marry a Beep. He backs out and keeps saying this isn't over. He revs his engine and I think he is about to run over me. I move near our solid in-ground basketball goal. I don't know how much this will stop, but it's all I had. Thank goodness he finally leaves. I called the cops and they take a report, but I decided not to press charges right now. I have 2 years to act on it. The police went and spoke to my ex and her sister. She is crazy too. She could be her own post. Her dad happened to not be home at the time. The sister actually came to my house while I was talking to the police. I finally came back inside and my girls are waiting on me. I had to fill them in a little because I believe one of them saw the police. It was almost 10, so they decided to go to bed. Kinda sad way to end the day. Gave hugs and told them I love them and I will keep them safe. I'm not sure what this is not over really means, but I guess he, ex-father-in-law, has something planned. Who knows what he is thinking? Hope this craziness made sense. I'll keep hoping things will get better from here. The "this is not over" part would be why I would have pressed charges. Immediate boundary. Exactly my thoughts, too. You don't play around with threats. I don't mean to sound morbid or bring everyone down, but definitely take those words seriously. My brother's ex told him, "I will make sure you never see your daughter again," before sadly strangling her to death that night. She was 5 years old. He and the rest of our family still replay the fact she said that over and over in our minds nearly 20 years later. Jesus, she's in jail, right? Unfortunately, not anymore. She got out in 2018 after 15 years for good behavior. She attends the community college of my old hometown and has a FB account. She was featured in an article about reformed prisoners. I'm sorry and don't want to get political, but a person who murders their own child shouldn't ever get the chance to integrate back into society. My mom/niece's paternal grandma died just a few months before her release. She tried to reach out and ask to talk to her. We told her she's passed and wouldn't want to talk to her, so please go away. Haven't heard from her since, but sometimes I type up a long anger-fueled message to her just to delete it. I know it won't help me and won't bring my niece back. Sorry for the long rant. Just hate that she got set free. I'm sorry, that's so horrible. That's what happened to Jason in hell. A Reddit user. His account been deleted. His wife threatened him would never see his children again if he divorced her. He filed. She killed them both. Plus I would be investing in some fine personal defense hardware and get a CCW ASAP. Don't take semi-veiled threats lightly. Exactly the same happened to me. I offered them a coffee and a chat and I thought we had thrashed out everything, and only to realize it was just a ploy because they wanted to know how I wanted to play out so they could come up with their own dirty tricks. The judge threw the book at them with their unreasonable request and decided to go with what I had offered. As long as you are being fair, you don't have to worry. That seriously depends on the judge. In most settlements the judge will follow a set approach. Solicitors/lawyers know it. Then the judge will take into account any mitigating circumstances, but only if any of it is reasonable. I would press the charges. That whole family sounds unstable, so I would press them. Oh, your comment is so dead on. Each of her family members has made a run at me in one way or another. Like I said about the ex-sister-in-law, she could have her own post. Get the restraining order. Who knows what this nut will do. Crazy day, but the divorce is final. Update: need support. If you didn't read my last post, the basics are: my mom fell and broke her left leg and hip Thursday night. She had surgery Friday morning. While she was in surgery, I went before the judge to prove up my mediation to make my divorce final. There is one more piece of paperwork that needs to be turned in. My ex and I were messaging about the house Friday afternoon because we are selling it, and I made a snarky comment about being divorced and she acted like she didn't know anything. She fired her attorney that day and left a message with my attorney. Within 5 minutes of the call, her dad was at my house causing trouble and the cops got called. Saturday I took my middle child to her basketball tournament. My ex messaged saying she was coming to pick up a few personal things from the house. She still had clothes here, so that is what I thought she was taking, and it's my fault for thinking instead of asking. While I am at my daughter's basketball game, I get a call that my mother had a stroke and she was being life flighted to a bigger hospital that can help. I get home to find the house gutted. She took a lot. Part of the agreement was everything stays till the house until it's sold. She may be mad because she had told her AP that she was getting everything she wanted back in November, which included the house and kids. She didn't get the house and my son is living with me. I see my girls almost every day too. I don't think she read or apparently didn't understand what we agreed to the week before, or maybe like our marriage, she doesn't care. I was so worried about my mom, I didn't care at the moment what was going on with the house and took off to be with her. My mom has been in the ICU until today. She is doing better but has a long way to go. My ex did call on Monday to ask about my mom. Or maybe she was fishing if I'm going after her dad for assault. She tried to explain that her dad was with her when she found out the divorce was final, and she was upset she didn't get to go before the judge too. She said I would do the same for my girls. She also insisted she didn't know why he left, and it wasn't until it was over that he came to my house. She said she fired her attorney because she wanted changes made to our mediation settlement. It says at least 3 times that this agreement is final. The mediator and my attorney told me the same thing. The message she left for my attorney was she wanted 30 to see what her options are, but she is not in a hurry to do anything because I have so much going on with my mother. I messaged my attorney and told her I don't trust her at all and get that last bit of paperwork finished. She did it yesterday, so we will see. My attorney and my brother, who is also an attorney, said my ex can't do anything. That it's done. I really don't know what the big deal is because she wanted the divorce and she has an AP. Let's end this and let me go. I made it home last night and was trying to figure out what all got taken. Some things we were supposed to split, and you can guess how that worked out for me because I was not here. One thing is a little puzzling is why she took all the Bibles. We had a collection of them. She doesn't obviously care what is written in the Bible, so I take them. I'm sure she has justified her actions, but that doesn't make it right with God. I sometimes want to message and ask/tell her some of these things, but I know I'm wasting my breath. I believe she is with AP this week, and now that we divorced I need to let it go. I sometimes shake when I think about them together. I did it tonight and my middle child saw it and was really worried about me. It's not good. I hope I never meet him because I don't know if I can keep myself from going after him. I know it's her too, but I may have to leave if he comes around at some point. I'm starting IC again soon and I know I need it. Anyway, thanks for the prayers for Mom. I know many of you are going through tough times with your spouse or ex. I wish you all the best and peace. Add up on the monetary value of everything she took, and deduct it from her final payout. We split the money the day after the settlement agreement. Then get her arrested for burglary. It's just stuff. You won what's really important. Your respect and children. Believe me, you've won. It may not feel like it now. But brother, even that shall come. Always bad at this part. Hope and good thoughts for your mom. Truly. Remember, chin up, feet forward. Thank you. Hey, I remember your last post and was curious. I don't see any update in the body of your post. I hope everything is okay and improved from your last update. Thanks, I just fixed it. Things are better than when I last posted. You should involve the police for theft and harassment from your father-in-law. He is crazy and dangerous. I wouldn't want him around my kids. Get legal action involved. She just broke the mediation agreement. Talk to your lawyers. I'd have a talk with your attorney about the missing items. She technically stole them, and if they're valuable you probably want them back. I suspect she took the Bibles to sell or pawn off. If they're old enough they can get pretty valuable. Or she took them out of spite, since she knew you cared for them, etc. Either way, good riddance. Glad you're nearly done with this mess. Do update us up. Karma is gonna hit so bad. Can't wait to see that happen. If she took stuff which was agreed to stay in the house till it's sold, she stole it and should get the police card involved and should also change the locks. Don't go after him. If you want him to pay, just let him have her. They deserve one another. You are right. I know it's her too. She once thought I was going to confront him, but I wasn't, and she was going crazy. She told me it wasn't his fault because she is the one who pursued him. I was married to another woman. A home wrecker. It makes me sick and I feel bad for the man's now ex-wife. Or maybe she was fishing if I'm going after her dad for assault. You have your leverage right here if you do want the stuff back. TBH, I'd press charges just because he needs to learn of consequences and he can explain to his daughter the same lesson. It's time to put up an emotional barrier and quit having these deep conversations with her. I would no longer talk to her on the phone. You need a record of conversations. Text only. Ignore anything that isn't about the kids. Don't entertain any personal conversations. One-word answers when she tries to entertain you on other stuff. No longer play her game. Ignore anything about changing the agreement. You know you have legal standing. If she won't stop, refer her to your lawyer. Change the locks on the doors so she can't come over when you're not there and violate the agreement anymore. Honestly, unless she took something very sentimental or worth a lot to you, let it go. You need as much distance as possible. Whatever she took you can replace easily. Just remember she couldn't take away your dignity and self-respect, more valuable than the Bible. Now is the time to be a kick-ass dad and start a new chapter of your life. It will get better over time, brother. My advice is to get a hobby/exercise. I went into making coffee as a hobby after my split up, and am pretty proud of my art now. Also hope your mom is doing okay, wishing her well. Coffee making. That sounds fun. Are you self-taught? What does that mean? I've been looking at making my own breads. I do run. I like to be alone sometimes when I'm in my feelings. Thanks. My mom is improving, but she has a long ways to go. Yes, I'm self-taught. For me, coffee making means making my own coffee, not from the electric coffee machine. I would grind my own beans, and get a dripper, V60, Chemex, Wave, for example, and manually pour the hot water into it. YouTube tutorials helps along with finding new cool ways to make coffee. I recommend watching some James Hoffmann coffee making videos to start off. It's super fun and really relaxing to start the day off making your own coffee. Plus it's pretty damn good coffee when you make it yourself, and it's a great conversation starter that everybody can appreciate. Plus it's fun finding new coffee roasters to buy specialty beans from. Like wine tasting, but it's coffee. File a police report. Many replied to your last post with suggestions that would have prevented this from happening. Your ex has been one step ahead of you for a while now. Understandable given the difficult things that your mom is going through. Stop letting your ex shit on you. Don't let this become the pattern going forward. Call your attorney and protect yourself. So I don't know what she took, other than the Bibles, from the house. Those things are material, though. Focus on your children and mother. A woman of her character really isn't worth your time. Period. And remember, material things can be replaced/upgraded, so don't even treat it like a loss. Instead look at it as an opportunity to level up. True, thank you. First, prayers for your mom. I know how hard it is to live through that, for both of you. Second, it's just stuff. Be happy it's gone. You know she and her father are posses, and they know that they're posses, so move on. Look up radical acceptance. It helps clear the pain away, and move yourself into the future. Thanks, I'll look up your recommendation. Is it an ID or book? It's a Buddhist philosophy that is used by many therapists. Many books have been written about it. There is a word for it in Japanese shogun. I generally translate it as it can't be helped, but it really means the bad thing has happened. Just deal with what you have to do to get it over and don't let it bother you. Therapists generally say that the suffering has happened, don't let it turn into depression and misery in you. Don't forget it and never agree with it, but don't submit to it, just accept it in a way that removes any power they have over you to cause misery. Prayers for your mother. You will get through this. A better day is waiting for you. Have faith. You're probably better off she took it all. That way you can start fresh and clean. The last box is, moving on with my life. Update. It's been a little bit since my last update and things have settled down since the divorce is final now. It's been 6 weeks since the divorce was final. For some reason she was mad about our mediation and tried to come back for more, but thank goodness I had a good family law attorney to shut that down. She fired her attorney after everything was done, so that's kinda funny. I thought everything was fair, but maybe that's why she was mad. I forced the sale of our house, the home was already destroyed, and she was mad about that too. Back in November she told her AP that she was getting everything, which included the house and kids. I offered her to buy me out, but she wanted to give me no equity. I'm glad it went down this way, because coming to my old house to get my kids while another man's truck is in my driveway would have sucked. I actually had to deal with that last night as I dropped her last items off. I didn't see her, but it still kinda hurt. My son also chose to live with me, so that's awesome. My relationship with him has gotten so much closer. My daughters will be fine, but I worry what lies have been told to them and what they actually believe. I really can't worry too much about that because I have no control over it. I have gone on a few dates, but I realize I'm not ready for that, so I'm going to just keep working on myself. I set a goal last August to run 500 miles and I have about 50 to go. I have also found a new church home and that's great. Without God, family, and friends, I'm not sure where I would be. I thank a lot of you in this community too. Coming here has helped a lot with my decision-making process as well. So thank you all for reading and responding. I wish you all the best too. Today is kinda bittersweet. The house sells tomorrow and I feel like it's the last page of this chapter of my life. After we close on the house this week, I can start focusing on the future. Thanks again to all of you. A poet once said, the roof is on fire, we don't need no water, let that mother efker burn. Out of the ashes you will rise again, stronger and wiser. Good luck on your journey. Haha, I love it. You sound like you're doing great. I applaud your progress. Thank you. Some days are better than others. What's your relationship like with your daughters, and do all your kids know the truth about what your ex did? My son knows, and I recently told my middle child. She is taking it the hardest. I think my youngest child is too young to know the truth. I'm not sure what I would do if she asked. My youngest daughter and I have a good relationship. My middle daughter is a little rough. I'll keep trying and I hope things soften between us. If she asks, please tell her the truth, plus the other kids might let it slip. Let your relationship be one of honesty and hopefully it'll prevent her from being turned against you by your ex filling her mind with lies. You sound like a good dad and a good person. Your middle daughter will come around eventually, but I'm glad you have your son fully in your corner. Smile. Just to reassure you, my husband's first wife trashed him to their children when they got divorced. These same kids are now in their mid-30s and have a very good relationship with their dad. Most kids aren't stupid. They also are predisposed to love their parents unless that parent is directly and obviously very abusive. So there's a good chance your relationship with your daughters will survive. She probably blamed you for the divorce, or that was the narrative her mother told her, and now that she knows the truth she is torn. Does the AP live with your wife? Thank goodness no. Well, at least that is a blessing. There will still be some tough times ahead, but the important part is that you are allowing yourself to let go. Continue to heal and be a shining example to your children. Selling your house is the closing of that horrible chapter in your life, and now you have a new life to look forward to with new promises for the future. All the best to you and your new journey moving forward. Good luck and be well. Man, remember your struggle, how crazy ex and her dad is. You already knew, but still no harm to tell you ex broke you, but you ain't staying down or out. You'll rise up even higher than before. Never be defined by other but you. With a kid friend your side of the family behind you, nothing is impossible, but do look out for ex-family. Their craziness knows no boundaries. You're good, take care. Are you pressing charges on your crazy ex-Phil now that everything is final? I would really like everything to go away. I have up to 2 years to do something, and as long as he stays away then I'm going to let it go. As far as I know he has been lied to, and if my daughter made me believe things I would be mad too. She and I know the truth, and now that she is gone I don't want any more of that drama. Does your former Phil not know that his daughter cheated? He knows, and at this point he doesn't care. Okay, so not your circus, not your monkeys. It's a good thing that you have the potential assault charge to hold over his head. Hopefully he will leave you alone. Congratulations, and good that it came out calm. Do you plan to upload more updates? I'm not sure at this point what else I would update. Maybe in 6 months or a year. Hope I'll be ready to start dating again and maybe travel more. I got full custody of my 6-year-old when I divorced my cheater. I did not date for over 3 years. All I did was work and take care of my girl, after she got close to 12 years old. I guess you could say 11 and a half. She started asking questions. So I told her, and with each year she would want to know more. So I would tell her. By 15 she knew the whole story. I'm a firm believer in telling everyone. Does your 15-year-old daughter still go to church? I'm sure your wife does not. At least not at the same church as she was going to while cheating. Have you talked to any of the people there about what happened? Filled them in on the truth? Also, do you have to pay alimony or child support? I would be trying to get my daughters. The only example they will learn from their mom is the quickest way to get laid by a married man. Have a good day. Good luck, man. A lot of us have been where you are. It will get better, I promise. Karma is waiting for your wife, because relationships that start from cheating usually end with cheating. You, however, cannot wait for that. Just set goals and be the best person you can be. Good luck. P.S. Being happy and successful is the best revenge. Even if she never said it, she thought you would fall apart without her. Thank you, all the best to you as well. How do you communicate with your ex-wife? I would suggest a co-parenting app if you are not using one already. They work wonders with difficult exes. Best of luck. All the best for your future, buddy. Work on yourself. Come out more strong. Good for you. Glad to hear you didn't lose as much as she wanted you to lose, which blows my mind that she could be so vindictive, especially when you weren't in the wrong. No contact, having kids together. Help. We have been divorced for nearly 2 months. If it was up to me, I would never talk to her again, but we have kids together. She cheated on me more than once. For a little backstory. We use the messaging app, but she still likes to push my buttons and try to control what I do with my kids. Any advice, or is this just what I will have to deal with until my kids are older? Sorry to hear about your situation. My only advice would be trying to not let it get to you. And just being the best dad you can be. It's hard, but you weren't the one who cheated. Be strong. Good luck. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.